Like, you could see some underutilized wide receivers. I think you're going to see a lot of spread out. I think
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I think you're going to see a lot of different kind of game
So you
plan
think
from
he's
him.
going to try to play? You think it's a chess
I think he's
match?
going to trust his defense, and I think he's going to try and put up points.
Well, great defense, by the way.
I think he's going to try and come up with a very creative offensive game plan.
I think the Broncos, the best game plan for the Broncos is how they won every game this year.
Yeah.
Field goal in the last minute.
Yeah, but they throw the football. They don't. I mean, and especially with. But I'm just saying, like, for me, when I like Sean Payton, and I know. I think Sean's got a little bit of an ego, and the idea that
the good ones do.
That he can come out with a game plan with a backup quarterback after that being the story all week. He comes out with a backup quarterback and runs this big time spread out, throw the ball all over the place offense and goes and wins it. Sean Payton becomes the smartest guy on Championship Sunday.
Well, let's find out from a guy that knows Sean Payton better than anybody. My main man, Mark Schlereth, out there in Denver, who does great sports talk radio out in Denver as well. And he was in the suite because he's a bougie bastard for last week's game. Marky, how you been, bud?
I'm good, Craig, man. Everything is good over here.
Are you outside shoveling right now? What are you doing?
No, man, I just left the gym, got my swole on, but I'll tell you what, I was having a great workout.
Yeah.
And then some dude walks by me in stretchy yoga pants.
Oh, man.
Like no shorts over the top, nothing. Just stretchy yoga pants. And I'm like, that's it. Either I walk out of this gym or I'm going to punch him in the face. Dudes can't be, showing off their root and stretchy yoga pants in the gym. I was it. I'm done. I put the weights down. I left.
I heard he's the halftime act for the Super Bowl this year.
What's that?
I heard that's the halftime show for the Super Bowl this year.
Well, that guy could have pranced around in it, that's for sure. But
all right,
I can't deal with that.
I have a question for you because you know better. You're out there in Denver. You've been a Hall of Fame finalist, and you're very close to the Denver Broncos. Why is everybody telling me that Jared Stidham should not be viewed as your garden variety backup quarterback?
Well, I think, one, he's been in the system for 3 years with Sean Payton. Sean Payton has not signed just to one contract, but 2 contracts. He's a guy, and he's played in the preseason. He's played really well. But I went back and looked at the 2 games he started for Sean Payton in 2023. And I'll tell you what now, Craig, the issue that you get into is there was some errant throws, and mostly it was time on task. He hadn't played with those receivers. So a guy's settling down in zone, and he's leading them across and things of that nature. But there were no training wheels on the offense. You cannot find a discernible difference from what Sean did in the regular season with another quarterback. Back then it was Russ Wilson, to what Stidham did. As a matter of fact, they ran a flea flicker. They threw a bunch of deep passes. His completions, he was like 20 of 30, in both games that he started, one against the Chargers, one against the Raiders. And his completions, they were like 11.5 yards, 12 yards, 13 yards per completion. They shoved the ball down the football field. So there's no fear that Stidham can't play or that they got to put training wheels on this offense.
Yeah, so my partner Big Mac here was saying we're trying to handicap the game, and he thinks Sean Payton comes out, free-flowing, high-octane offense, not afraid to throw the ball 30 times if he has to, and we're not going to see more of a kind of muddy it up, let's run the ball 45 times, take a couple shots. He thinks you're going to see a much bigger passing offense.
Well, I do too. I agree with that. And I think part of the reason is because right now their running backs haven't been worth a squirt of piss. They're not very good. Yeah. And they don't run the ball well. My biggest fear going out of that game last week, as you mentioned, I was in a little place called Peyton Manning Suite. And
you're funny.
Hey, all me, DeMarcus Ware, Shannon Sharp, Terrell Davis, Peyton Manning, all the Ring of Famers.
And let me ask you a question. But when you're in Peyton Manning's suite, is it lobster tails and stone crabs and sushi and highfalutin whiskey? Like, what's the spread like for you guys?
Yeah, there was prime rib. I didn't even look, and I didn't eat because I wanted to be invited back. And, there was a whole bar there, and I just had a little tiny bottle of water. That's all I had. I was like, and I'm making sure that I don't overstep my bounds because I may never come back. So there was that. But I will tell you, Craig, the thing that scared me more than anything was the the Buffalo Bills, from a game plan standpoint, schematic standpoint, their run game was exceptional. And they've eviscerated the Broncos in the run game. And, like, New England is very good running the football with Stevenson, with Henderson. That's the thing that scares me. If the Broncos can win on first down, then you earn the right to rush the passer in second and long and third and long. And if they can do that, they'll get to Drake May. But if they control the tempo and control the run game and stay in second down and short where the play action stuff is all good, third down and short, and, I think that's the difference in the game. If they can't win against the run of the Patriots, they'll lose this game. If they win against the run, I think they'll be able to get after Drake May, create some turnovers, and again, win a very tight game.
Yeah, you mentioned Mark, you mentioned the run game for the Broncos. If Dobbins is healthy, do you think that could change the game plan? Because obviously you trust Dobbins more than you trust the rookie over the last couple of weeks who hasn't run the ball well.
I look at it like okay, so the guy went out, he got a hip drop tackle, went out with some type of Liz Frank, and all of a sudden he's going to be, he's going to be good. Like, he worked out and he's practicing, but in a very limited range. So does that mean he's just doing individuals? Does that mean, I just don't know. They've said he looks good, but is that just gamesmanship?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to believe that Dobbins can be out for the last 2 months with some type of, severe foot sprain, and that he's going to just pop right back in and look good. That's a hard one for me to fathom doing that. And I just don't think you're going to see him, get 20 touches in this game.
Talking to Mark Schlereth, who spent most of his day-to-day hanging out with guys in tights, which is something that he typically enjoys. I guess he's having an epiphany, a midlife crisis or something. I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, go ahead. What?
Yeah, no. It is all good, my friend. Love it. That was that one got me right there.
Here, one question for you. What was the locker room like last week? After that, it was a great game, obviously, right? Josh Allen, really cost the Bills the game, but, Denver did what it had to do to win the game late. And then about 5, 10, 15 minutes after the game, while everybody's celebrating, we made it to an AFC Championship game, and it's a home game. Bo Nix broke his ankle. Well, what was that locker room like in that moment?
Yeah, I think everybody's elated that they got the victory and they go into the AFC Championship, and then all of a sudden how quickly it turned. Yeah. And nobody knew. Nobody knew that he had a little limp and he was, it'll be okay. Then they go back in there, they all have an x-ray machine in the stadium, and it comes back as it's broken. And, there was a great picture of kind of Stidham hanging out with Bo Nix and his family, and everybody kind of just powwowed there. They were devastated because it sucks, man, to get this far, to do all that work, to create an opportunity for you guys to be here, and then for that to get taken away from you, man. That's just a tough deal, obviously.
This might be a stupid question. I ask a lot of them, but was there any consideration at all of taping it up, hitting him with some Toradol, and seeing if he could go or no?
No, I think that bone. I think the reason they went in and had surgery immediately is because I think they had to put some screws, some hardware in there, a plate, some screws in there. And so then it just takes, you can't go in there and just shoot the thing up. So, I think there's zero chance. He has not been put on IR yet, but that's a formality. They'll do that Saturday. They'll decide who they want to bring up, what extra guy they want to put on the roster, and then they'll put Bo Nix on IR.
I want to ask you a different one, too. As a former NFL player, as I'm looking at this weekend, I saw some stats about teams that played in overtime and then the next week in a playoff. What does playing an extra period, an overtime period, take on the body? Is that something that we should look at? We're going to have two teams, obviously the Rams and the Broncos, coming off an overtime game. Anything there where you could be a little bit more drained, take more out of you playing a little bit, or is it playoff time and everybody's banged up and it doesn't matter?
Yeah, everybody's hurt. I mean, obviously, it's attrition and there's more plays on you and all that kind of stuff. But this is to go to the Super Bowl,
right?
And I will say this: you can't play 17 games on adrenaline, but you can play one game on adrenaline.
Yeah.
And so I think it's not going to make that big a difference for these two teams.
And your thoughts on Phillip Rivers becoming the Buffalo Bills' next head coach? You like it or don't like it?
Yeah, I really think they just want to bring him in there and take him to the anchor bar and see how many wings that guy can house. Because can't you just see him as fat as he is right now, just like Frank's hot sauce smeared all over them big puffy cheeks? They just want to see that. Can you set a record? They don't really want to hire him as the head coach, I don't think.
Always a pleasure talking to you. Appreciate a few minutes of your time. I didn't prepare you for it, but I wanted to get your take. I forgot that you're in Denver. And when I reminded myself, I said, let me just call the guy. So best to your family. I hope the kids and grandkids are great. And I'll find you over the weekend. We have a Denver, Alaska-style storm coming, as you know. And I'm looking at 1.5 feet of snow, but I did just acquire a flamethrower, so I'm all set for the snow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. You know what? That'd be a great gift for my dad up in Alaska.
Yeah.
I called him the other day, Craig. He was on the roof. I'm like, Dad, he's 86.
Yeah.
There's so much damn snow and it's going to rain, so I got to get it off the roof. He's shoveling on the roof at 86.
Yeah, but if I sent your dad a flamethrower, he would burn his house down.
There's no question. There's zero question. But it'd be a great story.
Yeah, you'd have a great story. Then he'd move in with you guys, and that'd be a wrap.
Yeah.
Love you, pal. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Love you too, brother.
Be good. Stink. Mark Schlereth, one of the great offensive linemen, 1, 2, 3-time Super Bowl champion. And I'll show you a picture of his dad. His dad is 86 years old. His dad looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger as a bodybuilder.
Really?
He is jacked.
Wow.
Jacked. And they grew up basically in Alaska. Not like no running water, electricity. It's so funny. Like someone else told the story about growing up in Alaska as well, where the first time he ever had a social, like you got to hang out with girls, they had to get on like a riverboat and go to the next Alaskan village just to like have a good time.
Yeah.
Crazy. But his dad will kick your ass.
I bet not.
Matter of fact, I'm going to encourage him to.
I wouldn't mess with an 86-year-old man who's shoveling
jacked.
his roof.
Yeah, jacked.
I would get up on a roof right now.
No.
Yeah.
You know, the roof thanks you. Sorry. That was too easy. I mean, come on. I shouldn't have done that.
No,
I feel so bad.
At least that one was funny. At least that one was funny.
Thank you. I feel bad.
I can say I was thinking about doing a segment during the last stop from 6 to 7.
The Mac attack.
The insult of the day.
I don't insult you at all.
No, not from
please.
you.
Okay.
But at least that one's funny.
Yeah, I apologize.
The roof thanks you. I like
you know what? I got to. You know what? I got to put $1 in the bucket.
The bucket.